good, YouTube? Slender Revolution X here. So today, guys, I want to talk about how this format is not going to be a set 5 pass format. I've been surfing around the YouTube, surfing around Facebook, a lot of like Pojo, things like that, and people are seriously talking about how you can just set 5 and pass this format because Heavy Storm was banned. Just because Heavy Storm was banned, does that mean that you should take advantage and hurt yourself by setting 5 cards and ending turn, or even setting 5 cards just in general? In my opinion, setting 5 cards is a foolish play to begin with. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Sure, it gives your opponent the idea that maybe you have answers for everything they're going to do. But that's not always the case. A smart player will look at it as, okay, either you have nothing, you've set all your cards, you tell your opponent a lot about what you have without even showing them anything. If I get 5 set on me and pass, there's a few things that I instantly notice from that setup. One of which, I think it's easy to assume at that point that your opponent has no playable monster in their hand, if a monster at all. And I think it's easy to assume it in this format with such a small trap pool that their back row may be consisted of 1 or 2 bluffs in there. And at this point, because I know that you don't have a playable monster, I can attempt to bait out some of these back rows. And you, as the set 5 player, are forced to use these back rows because you have nothing to defend yourself otherwise. So, a casual player may realize that setting 5 and passing may seem like a good idea, but to me, I think it's very foolish. Even when Heavy Storm was around, you'd see people do this occasionally, especially like in the Dino Rabbit era, when you could get a laggy on the field, but that's not the case right now. It's a very slow format, and I think that if you set 5 and pass, you're not showing your opponent your setup, because there's no worry about what's in your hand. If you have 1 card, I'm really not worried about that 1 card. If you set 3, have 3 cards in hand, at that point I think you have hand traps. I think you have a setup for next turn, even if your face downs are bluff, because they could be things like MST or Pot of Duality. Things that you can use next turn to push for big plays. I think setting 5 cards and having 1 card in hand shows less defense than setting 2 or 3 cards, having 3 or 4 cards in, or 2 or 3, 4 cards in hand. Because in a game where there's so many reactive hand traps, you need to be ready for cards like that. And that's something that you really aren't worried about if you have set 5 and pass. Because I know that it's not a Gorz, and if it is, that sucks for you because you have 5 cards that you need to get rid of before I can, before that Gorz is even going to become live. If it's Tragoedia, sure, you can have your Tragoedia with 600 attack next turn. I'm not worried about that. So at that point, you're looking at Battle Fader, like Effect Veiler and Maxi. And okay, so if you drop that Maxi, I'm not doing anything. I'd rather leave you with 1 card next turn that you draw, then try to go off with your 5 set back row. So I think having those cards face down is actually more of a disadvantage, especially since people think that they're immune to destruction at this point. If you guys know, Heavy Storm is not the only card out there that destroys back row. There's things like Malevolent Catastrophe. MST is starting to be seen run at trips. So, granted, you probably won't blind MST, but there's destruction, so even if you set bluffs back there and you get blind MST on a card that you really need, yeah, that sucks. That you were actually like waiting for it and sitting there bluffing, but you really needed that next turn. So things like that are out there. Breaker's out there. The Storm Neos is out there. That card destroys stuff all the time. There's a lot of cards that really just make that a disadvantageous play. So that's my opinion on it. And for you guys watching this video, please don't become that. Please don't do that to yourself. You'll see yourself probably lose a lot of games if you just set 5 pass. I know personally, I'm just going to start baiting out traps. And if you hit them, you hit them. If not, I'm just going to poke for damage. I'm not going to summon more than 1 monster because I'm not getting torrentialed. So you're showing off a lot more than protecting yourself. I think you're giving up your main plays by setting 5 and passing than you are setting up for future plays. So please, guys, tell me your thoughts on this. I understand this is a little bit of a rambling video. This is right off the top of my head. Like I said, I was searching around earlier today, and I just really needed to address this issue. with my thoughts. But please, if you guys have any thoughts on the issue, leave them in the comment section below. I'll be sure to get back to you guys. Please give me your opinion, your thoughts, all this good stuff in this new format that I'm coming into. If you like this video, thumbs up. I'm always happy to do videos for you guys, and thumbs up really help me out. And as always, guys, subscribe to join the revolution today. And this is Slender Revolution X signing out, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.